What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. In this video, we're jumping into Alien issue number 1, a brand new series brought to you by Philip Kennedy Johnson, the artist being Julius OHTA, the colorist is Yen Nitro, and our letterer is VC's Clayton Cowles. As we jump into this 6-issue miniseries, we are jumping to the year 2217. And for those of you keeping track, the last issues that we covered, the last Alien issue 1 that we covered, that was focused in the year 2200 on the research station that we saw some familiar faces on. But this is 17 years in the future, and the Weyland-Yutani Corporation ambitions have been growing. Using the Xenomorphs, they have gone well beyond bioweapons, with all the research and development really focused on Topler-9. This is a planetoid research facility where some of the greatest universal minds have come together, innovators from all across. Only in present day, this place is nothing more than an overgrown ruins. And in a world filled with Xenomorphs, there is only one team that they want to send in. Now, make sure you guys have subscribed to the channel, make sure you like this video, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so as we dive into this issue, we are picking up on Topler-9. They call this place the City of the Future. This is the off-world headquarters for the Weyland-Yutani Research and Development. It is a fully engineered planet, having lab facilities that include nanotechnology, said to be home to miracles of science and technology. Now the story starts us off at 2205, so it's been a little more than a decade since when this comic is actually taking place, because the truth is, Topler-9, it has fallen. This planet has become fully infested with Xenomorphs. Children, women, and men alike were absolutely butchered on this planet. It was absolute devastation. And so with the years passing by, this place has become a haven for Xenomorphs. That's what takes us to present day, the year 2217. We are taken to Europa 5. This is when we are introduced to Steel Team. Now, while this team, they are very much enjoying the life of exclusion, away from regular society, away from humanity itself, or at least so they thought. This is when one of the members of Steel Team begins to take fire, letting all the other members know that it is time to get up. The organics have found them, because this team, these individuals, they are synthetics. That is why they are here on this isolated planet away from all of humanity. They are here to be left alone. Unfortunately, humanity has found them. With the word going out, all of our synthetics, they jump into action. Nora, Seth, Eli, Astrid, all of them get up and they start laying down some hate. They also recognize that these humans, they are using non-lethal. So it appears that they were attempting to capture them, not knowing the end goal, not understanding why they are here to begin with. They are snapping necks, they are breaking bones, while they aren't killing all of them. This is an absolute bloodbath. As Freya and all the others, they start to investigate everything going on, recognizing that they have short-term comms, which means there is somebody in command that is nearby. That is when we pick up with Lieutenant General George March. Unfortunately, the synthetics found him before he could capture them, breaking down into his little makeshift headquarters. There is a giant explosion, the general ends up with a huge gash on the back of his head, and now he is at the mercy of the synthetics. These guys, they have history together. The general not seeing them in quite a while. Here on your 4 of 5, the air is pretty much toxic to any human beings, which means humans, they relatively stay away from this place. That makes it a prime location for individuals that are synthetic. And Freya lets the general know that this was about the dumbest way that you could have come and asked for our help. If you truly wanted to talk to us, there were better ways to do it. The general believing that they never would have helped him out, that they never would have agreed to this, so he had to capture them. Or at least that is his logic behind it. He does apologize for how things ended for all of them in the past. His government didn't honor their commitments. And while he is ashamed to ask for anything else from them, they are in the midst of the worst disaster of his lifetime. And this special operations team that is synthetics, they might be the only savior for humanity. Now, obviously, our team, they are very skeptical of the general. They have been screwed over more than once already, believing that this is just another ploy, another opportunity to screw him over. But the game has changed. The United Systems, they currently run 25 colonies in this system. Between them, there is 1.4 billion people. The agriculture complex on Demeter 2, it is by far the biggest one that they have ever constructed. In fact, it dwarfs anything that Weyland-Yutani has ever created. But 2 weeks ago, an experimental nuclear reactor, it suffered a catastrophic failure. The radiation not being able to be counteracted. It is a death sentence for anybody exposed to it. They evacuated as many people as possible, but there appears to still be millions of individuals on the planet. To further, if they do happen to lose this agriculture planet, an upwards of 1 billion people may very well suffer for it. And the only possibility of actually saving this world is Topler-9. Now, Topler-9 is where Weyland really experimented on things that they would never get away with on Earth. From chemical weapons to bioweapons, nanopathogens, all kinds of craziness. Even extra-human gene splicing. But according to their intel, the disaster on Topler-9 started in their bioweapons division. That is, of course, until the Xenomorphs took over everything. And while this place has been dead for years, one of Weyland's projects, one of their off-the-book projects, it was some sort of catch-all biological weapon, a defense agent that would be able to help with the nuclear problem. One of the benefits was significant resistance to deadly radiation levels. And so if this serum does what their intel tells them it does, it could keep Demeter 2 in operation and save billions of lives. The only downside, Topler-9 is infested with Xenomorphs, believing that a squad wouldn't last more than 30 seconds on the planet's surface. That is where synthetics come into play. For the most part, aliens, Xenomorphs, they leave the synthetics alone. Now, of course, Steel Team, they want almost nothing to do with this. They had broken off their partnership with the US for a long time, when they saw them nothing more than property, not partners. They are done with war, and they don't see themselves as Steel Team any longer. They are simply a family trying to live their lives. But the general offers them something that has never been offered to synthetics. If they do this one last mission, the Security Council has agreed that any synthetic who wants full citizenship to United Systems, they will be granted it. So if they do this one mission, they could change everything for synthetics. Synthetics would no longer be property. They would in fact be seen as equals. And so Freya, not saying that they agree to the mission, but if they do accept, they want to know what they are looking for. The general going on to say that according to their records, the company synthesized part of the biologic from the Xenomorphs, an embryo, or possibly some kind of alien egg. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. You know, these alien miniseries, they really have been a lot of fun. While they are jumping us all over the timeline, we are jumping sometimes Small amounts, sometimes decades at a time. But it's going to be very interesting to see if this is the same egg that we saw in the previous series. We had last seen that the incubating Xenomorph egg, this was supposedly the alpha. Now, there is a possibility that it could be the same egg from the past, and we can definitely expect the Xenomorphs not to be ignoring our synthetics when they make their way out there. Moreover, what we are really starting to see is that synthetics next to Xenomorphs might be one of the greatest threats to humanity. Now, throughout the Alien franchise, we have seen that synthetics, they have always been treated poorly, but they have never been villainous. Maybe questionable at times, but never outright the villain. More and more as we get through these series, we are starting to see that synthetics have a very bad taste in their mouth for what they call organics. And they refer to organics as anything that is not synthetic. It's almost as if they see Xenomorphs and humans as not so different. And if the Weyland-Yutani Corporation has taught us anything, is that they're not so different. That Weyland itself could be argued to be more evil than the Xenomorphs themselves. Because the Xenomorphs, they're doing what is biological to them, what is natural to them. They eat, they consume, they reproduce. This is their life cycle. And while we have seen them get more intelligence, they are not nearly as smart as human beings. Yes, they are fierce predators. You could even say apex predators. But that doesn't mean that they have the intelligence of a human being. Human beings, they knowingly do everything that they do. Weyland-Yutani Corporation specifically, you can make it comparable to what Nazi scientists did back in the day. And so for the synthetic team of Steel, they find it very hard to side with humanity, but they're definitely not siding with Xenomorphs. They want to be left alone. They want their little patch of land and to live out their synthetic life. And while the general has come here really offering synthetics to be treated as equal, or at least get full citizenship, that doesn't necessarily mean that they will be treated equally. And so the synthetics, they have to weigh this. Will they actually, for once, do what they say they are going to do? Or are they going to screw us over again? Can we really pass up on the opportunity to free all synthetics? So let me know your thoughts, let me know your theories. If you would like to check out the issue 1 from the previous series, be sure to check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It will get you completely caught up on everything that was ongoing with that series. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership. Much like Patreon, having 5 different tiers from $1 to $50. From loyalty badges all the way up to getting free comics every month from me. If you are looking for a way to help the channel out, that is the best way to do it. Now, if you can't do that, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.